What's up everyone, welcome back to Miami Miles. My name is Mickey. In this video, we're gonna talk about how the 992 GT3 is a living legend. So the new 992 GT3 was released a couple months ago, and shocker, the car has come out to the best reviews you could imagine. The car is basically a race car for the road. It's more like a GT3 RS of all the previous generations than it is to GT3s of previous generations, and people are absolutely eating it up. They love it. Not just that, but the car is finally reflected some of this technology and some of this ethos in its looks. The car looks beautiful with its shark blue accents, the little pinstriping around the headlight, the pinstriping around the wheels, the inverse rear wing, which looks like it was sculpted by the gods. But honestly, this is what we were all anticipating. We were like, oh yeah, the GT3 is great. Oh, shocker, we're all shocked. Wow, the car's awesome. Yes, guys, but do you know what the GT3 is really great at? Do you know what's making the GT3 so legendary that it's like that little superhero back there right behind me? What makes the GT3 so legendary is that it's the only vehicle across all the car brands that retains a tether to the past. Every time you look at a GT3, you are reminded of a better time in the past where the government didn't care about emissions, where people weren't like, put these stupid filters in your exhaust, hybridize all your cars, electrify all your cars, here's all these incentives. Back then, no one cared. That tether is back to the time of the early 2000s, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, the times of the Lamborghini Gallardo, the Mercy, the 430 Scud, right? The M3, the E92 M3 with that beautiful 4-liter V8 that used to rev to 8,300 RPM. It was all about driving experience, not about saving gas, not about being good on the environment. That is what the GT3 represents to me. It represents a time, a fleeting time that's disappearing. It represents a device that is from another era, but it's still here today. It still gives you the same feeling. It still gives you the same emotion. It still revs to 9,000 RPM until you kick that clutch and shift the lever to hit the next gear. It's the only vehicle doing these things. If you think about Ferrari, guess what they're doing? Hybridization. If you think about McLaren, what are they doing? Hybridization. If you think about Lamborghini, hybridization. Even though they're last, they're going in that direction. They say by 2023, they'll have their first electric vehicle and they'll have every vehicle be a hybrid. So every car is going to this hybridization, yet the GT3 continues to maintain its ethos from almost 20 years ago. And that's what I love so much about it. Imagine like if you go to Rome, right? You see a statue of Julius Caesar. What do you think about? You think about the parties that they used to have. You think about the Colosseum and gladiators. You think about the wars. You think about all of the excitement, all of the things that used to transpire on a day-to-day basis. And that is exactly what I feel when I look at the GT3. That is why it has the biggest club of fanboys in the world, and that is why millionaires are beating themselves over the head to try to get one above the other. Which is why nobody can just walk into a GT3 dealership or a Porsche dealership and get one. You either A, need to know somebody, B, need to pay a bunch of money over a sticker, right? Or C, need to have a bunch of history with the dealership, having spent millions of dollars there over the years. And for a regular person to be able to acquire this car, it's almost impossible because the fan base is so strong and loyal that GT3 people stay with GT3s. I've always been a GT3 fanboy. I used to stare at the 991.1 GT3. Remember the one that used to have its motor blown after you'd rev it hard a few times? That car, when it came to market, I used to go to God and Porsche in Vegas and just stare at it, stare at its lines. When they recalled the 991.1, they used to have 12 of them lined up at that dealership, and I just go stare at them all day long. That's how much I love Porsche. And to amplify it a little bit, I attempted to trade in my 911 Turbo for a 991.1 GT3 RS, but they wanted to gouge me on price, so I never did it. It was only this year when I was finally able to secure this allocation for this 992 GT3 that finally my dream for Porsche will come true. Now, I'm not going to keep the car, it goes to a loved one, but I will get to experience, I will film it, I will convey my feeling about it. And yes, this car is going to stay in my family forever. It's going to be a family heirloom moving forward into the future in perpetuity, as it should for you. Because remember, once these cars are gone, we'll be sitting about the good old days. We'll be sitting there talking with our great-grandchildren. Hey, back then cars were actually fun to drive. Now they run 7-second quarter miles, 1 second, 0 to 100 miles an hour. They're stupidly fast, but they only make you grin when you're going really fast. You can only go fast once a year. That's where cars are headed. I like the past. I like the GT3. It is a living legend, guys. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Give me a big thumbs up if you did. Comment down below if you disagree with anything I had to say. And lastly, subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to pop out fun content like this every single day with a different twist on what we feel and think about this exotic car game. Anyways, guys, I hope that you have a great day. Take care.